I really enjoy Gen 5 because it's all about that kind of dilemma of maybe we should have the Pokemon be liberated, from the
Yep.
trainers kind of thing. I really like the diversity that the spin-off games
Mhm.
give, and so I'm really advocating for new ones of those. If we all kind of unionize together, right, and we're all
Yeah.
just part of a community, kind of like a way to get more of a chance for us smaller channels. Hear different takes of the Pokemon world of what it could be, and it's I really enjoy that more than I like the narrative of just catching every single Pokemon.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Skill Link podcast, where we chat and get to know passionate content creators, competitive players, and all voices in between who continue to make the Pokemon community incredible. Today's guest brings a thoughtful and down-to-earth approach to the Pokemon community. From deep dive theories and rich world building discussions, to tier lists and immersive Let's Plays, focusing on building a tight-knit community and inviting all to join in and share our genuine love for the Pokemon franchise, it's our friend Ledisman. Welcome. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. It's about midday for me, so wide and awake,
There you go.
But I'm doing pretty good. It's a bit cloudy during winter, but it's all good.
Nice. That's right. So yeah, so everyone's aware, Ladies Man's coming into us from the other side of the globe. So we appreciate him working with the time difference and the weather difference and the season difference and everything to come to us and bring you some fun Pokemon conversations. So
Yeah, it's all good.
yeah,
Just happy to be here, really.
love it. Awesome. You doing anything fun this weekend with or is weather kind of keeping you pinned down for right now?
Yeah. So today I was gonna go out to town and then kind of rush
Okay,
back for this podcast, but that was delayed.
all good.
But tomorrow, as you might be aware, I'm doing my D&D where I'm a
Yeah,
player.
That's right. Yep.
That's kind of the reason why we've had to change up the schedule a bit. So
makes
sorry
sense.
about that.
No, don't apologize. We I know Logan has mentioned, but we're big D&Ders as well. We are in fact
Yep.
we just did a little session the other night as well. Logan's our DM.
Wednesday.
It's us it's us two, and then we have one other buddy that we've been playing this campaign for literally like the last 6 years, 7 years, pretty much.
Oh wow.
2019, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so we used to live closer so we could get in person maybe once a month. But now I've since moved across the country, so we have to do it remote, and we do it maybe once every month and a half ish, 2 months.
Yeah,
So, but
yeah.
it's a good
I
time.
can't imagine going for 6 years.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. It builds
But
up.
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow.
Cool. Well, I guess that kind of leads me to my first question. I'm glad we're talking about this. I was going to ask, outside of Pokemon, what interests and hobbies take up your time? And obviously, it looks like D&D is a pretty big part of what you do, right?
Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of turn-based games
Yeah.
and I guess strategy games as well. So D&D really fits up my alley. I also GM a Pokemon tabletop game.
Oh,
Oh
nice.
Um,
That's
yeah.
sick.
We have a question about that later. I was gonna get your mind on that, but yeah,
ah,
continue.
okay. Well, spoilers.
Spoilers, yeah.
um, but yeah, that's been going for almost 3 years now, which
Wow.
is pretty good. And let's see. Other than that, video games is always a good one,
Absolutely.
and I guess movies or watching anime sometimes. I'm not too
Very
into
nice.
anime nowadays, but a couple years ago I was.
Do you have any favorites?
And I think Hunter x Hunter is a pretty good
Ooh,
one.
Hunter x Hunter's great. Yep.
I really
That's a lot of
enjoy
fun.
that series.
Oh, that's
Um,
a good one.
yeah, but I don't really watch anime nowadays. Another hobby that I do have is baking.
Oh,
So I
cool.
like
Oh, very
to,
That's
cool.
fun.
bake brownies and cakes and
Absolutely.
lamingtons, which is an Aussie dessert.
Ooh.
That's sick.
So yeah, those are kind of my main hobbies. And I guess in a way, you could classify the YouTube as a hobby for me.
Absolutely.
It's not really like a career path. I mean, it could be, but for the most part, it's considered a hobby for me.
For sure. Yeah, no, same with us. It's for
Yep.
fun. Absolutely. That's cool though. Love it.
Yeah.
We love a diverse Renaissance man here on the channel. You're hitting all the things that
Exactly.
we love. We're mega nerds over here. Obviously, we love Pokemon. We love doing the YouTube, but we're well rounded in our nerdiness. So you're in good company here,
Yeah,
my friend. You're in good
you
company.
know, it's good when I join your live streams and you're playing Elite Redux and I'm able to
Mhm.
like, you know, keep up.
Yeah, there you go. It's fun. Yeah,
You know
it's
what's
fun when
going
we get
on?
a few of our regulars in the chat, and it makes for a fun stream when we have you popping in and a few others who are some regulars. So it's a good time. But that's awesome.
I
Yeah.
also got to shout you out for doing a let's play right now of Dragon Quest 9. That's like one of the best games ever made. It's so fun.
Yeah,
So
it is, you know, it's definitely in my top 10, you know.
Oh yeah,
um
that's amazing.
and I haven't played all of the Dragon Quest games. I've only played a bit of the original version of 3, like on the like,
hmm
you know, not on the like NES or whatever, but it was on like on the Game Boy.
Hmm.
So I played a
yep.
bit of Dragon Quest 3, and then I played about halfway through Dragon Quest 11. But Dragon
Okay.
Quest 9 is the my one Dragon Quest game. You know,
Yeah. It
they
Absolutely.
was
always say
I.
that your like your first Dragon Quest is your favorite, and
Yep.
that's definitely my favorite.
Nice.
I
That's
love
awesome.
that game so much. My brothers, so I have three brothers, and we all got that game together, and we'd play
uh
And so, like, we all went. One of my like favorite memories of playing that game was trying to find the metal slimes to grind levels, or like the
yeah,
metal, yeah, to get the level and experiences. And because you can hook up your games together and be in the same world, and so like your encounter table was the same. So if there was or I can't remember exactly, but like so we try to find a metal slime and invite your guy over, your buddy over. And then one of my favorites is they had special bosses after beating or you can unlock special bosses from previous games that were harder, like a lot harder.
yeah, the Legacy
And
Dungeons or whatever.
uh-huh. And my brothers and I, we had tried to specialize in specific classes for specific roles, and it was just a fun
Mm.
challenge altogether. So, oh yeah, I love that you're shouting out that game and that you're giving it the highlight that it
Yeah,
deserves. So,
I mean, I never got to experience the multiplayer aspects of it, so for me, it's just been a single player game.
Hmm.
But it's still a very enjoyable game, you know.
hmm
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah, it's so great, so great. Kind of leaning more into the Pokemon side of things. Can you tell us more about maybe like what your Pokemon journey is? How did you get into the the franchise? In what led to your YouTube journey, and then
Yeah.
also you have a Ladian as your mascot. Tell us about
Lady
how
in.
that got there. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's all good. So I guess like, you know, by the time I could like really read and write, the GameCube was out, but we
Mm.
had like things like the N64, Game Boy Advance. You know, we had the kind of the previous generation of like games. So even
hmm
though I should be more of a Gen 3, Gen 4, like, you know, as my first Pokemon game, I really got brought up on the Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3,
okay,
kind of
very
Yeah.
that
cool.
Yeah.
era,
Yeah.
which is interesting because, like, you know, usually a lot of people are like in the 90s, you know, for the N64 era, you know, but,
Yep.
you know, I'm in the 2000s and I'm like, yeah, I still was brought up on the N64, you know.
Mm.
Um, and so yeah, I just like remember. I think one of my earliest Pokemon memories was like just having a Charizard in Pokemon Red, and just like
Oh
only
yeah.
Charizard button mashing. I remember being very confused about why I couldn't hit the Ghost type in Lavender Town.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yep.
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 Happened to a
You
lot of
know, like
us.
what, you know, what am I doing here? And I definitely couldn't make it past the Silph building. You know,
Yep.
before the
Yep.
teleporters. Um, but yeah, since then I've kind of been playing like all the Pokemon games. Not like, you know, all of them because there's a lot, including spin-offs. But um, you know, I have been like kind of keeping up with it, and I guess like my weak points in terms of the Pokemon games are Black and White 2, um, and I think Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and the Gen 9 games, Sun
Right.
and Violet.
Okay.
But everything else I've like, you know, I did my toes
That's
into,
awesome.
and you
Makes
know,
sense.
yeah, got brought up with it, you know.
Love that. That's
Which
awesome.
kind of weaved itself into your timeline, right?
Yeah,
So,
well, it's got like because I really focus on the world building aspects of it. It's got a lot to like really dive into, and it's had so much time to really develop. You know, it's not like a single game, right? It's 25, almost 30 years or so, right?
yeah, it's
Oh yeah,
crazy to
yeah,
think
it's
about that.
insane.
So, and like combined with the spin-offs and the anime, the movies, and all that, there's a lot to really get into.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the reason why we're doing the channel is that there's just so many different niches with the franchise, and like it's fun. 'Cause I think we've all like at least a lot of us have kind of like at least rubbed shoulders with like the card game or the anime or like different or the games,
Mm,
of course, or the side games or really like
yeah.
anything. But it's cool, like of course, to see what brought each person into the franchise, and for the most part, it's usually like the video games and the
Mhm.
I guess I don't know. It could be the anime, it could be the TCG. That's the fun thing. It's different for everyone, and everyone kind of has their expertise. Um,
Yeah.
it's fun. So and even like the regions too. Like it's not even just necessarily video game or cards. It could also be like like last week or a couple weeks ago we brought on Biba. His channel is I Still Play White too, and his
Mhm.
forte is Gen 5. And then we might have on someone else and be like, oh, I'm actually not as familiar with Gen 5 and Unova, but
No.
I'm a master of name your region. So it's really fun.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. I've been, I guess, a bit more cynical of modern Pokemon, um, around Gen 7, and so
Okay.
I didn't really want to get like Gen 9, for example, because of all the kind of controversies around that game. You know,
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
all the technical issues and just kind of the design choices, perhaps. Um, and that cynicism is still continuing on. I'm not particularly fond of Legends ZA at the moment or Pokemon
Okay.
Champions, um, but I really enjoyed the spin-off games. Like the
Yeah.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series
Oh, I love
was
Mystery
hmm
Dungeon.
it
So
was
good.
so good. And then there's Ranger, there's Pinball, there's
Ranger's great too.
Conquest. And so I try to advocate for new versions of those games on my channel as well.
I, and I'm glad you
I
do
love
that
that.
because those. I mean, I'm a main series guy at heart. I'm sure a lot of people obviously love the main series, but there are so many of like my fondest video game memories are the side games, the spin-off games.
Yeah.
Kind of like Logan.
Yeah.
My brother and I are super tight, and we were tight because we grew up playing Nintendo games, like anything from Mario to Zelda. But Pokemon
Hmm.
was definitely like our main one that we were really tight on. And I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I have memories of playing Ranger, of playing. I don't know if I'm sure Pokemon Troze, which is basically like for those who aren't aware,
On
like
Trophy.
Candy
Yeah.
Crush or Tetris,
Yeah.
but they're Pokemon heads, or Pokemon Dash, where you had the DS and you would like make you literally like basically grind a indentation on your bottom screen of your DS with your stylus because you're trying to make your Pokemon run fast. Yeah, those
Yeah.
side games are
Yeah.
great. I love them. And then like obviously like I guess Coliseum and XD are like kind of main series, but they're kind of side games. They're like the weird in between
Yeah.
ones. But
They're
those are I mean,
they're
those
a
are
little
Yeah.
off.
phenomenal, obviously. So,
Fair enough.
anyways,
Um, and kind of using that to segue into the YouTube, the Chose, like kind of image of Ladian is kind of I tried to recreate
Oh
that and
yeah.
like
Yeah.
okay, yeah, you're right. Now that you mentioned that, you are absolutely correct.
yeah, I tried to recreate that in like
Let me load
the
again.
paint with obviously like adding a few details like the hat and the bow tie and all that,
You
you
did
know.
great. It's
um,
awesome. I love it so much.
it's not a one-to-one copy so that they don't get too angry, but
No, that's great.
you know.
That's
But yeah,
awesome.
and so with the kind of YouTube side of it, I guess I wanted to try it about 3 years ago, um, but I was like really kind of self conscious about it. Like I didn't want to really put myself out there. Um, I didn't have a good microphone or good setup, I guess, or good internet. A lot of like little things, I guess. And I guess like other things like my university studies. So I kind of put it off a bit. But yeah, this year I've been given the chance to go for it and see what
I love
happens.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's congrats to you. Kind of getting. I would say very similar for us. Josh and I had, we kind of started doing it about a couple years ago, and it's nerve wracking to kind of start getting yourself out there. And we officially started our YouTube channel. We were streaming on Twitch for a little bit, but then we officially started our YouTube channel like a couple years ago, and it's scary, but it feels rewarding when you start kind of seeing the impact you can give people, and even just kind of an outlet to express your love for something that you love yourself. So that's so
Yeah.
great, and that's awesome. Kind of
Um,
speaking of that now. Oh, sorry, no, you go.
I was gonna like talk about like why Ladian,
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yes, yes,
feel free to
absolutely,
let us know.
yes.
Yep.
yeah. So I'm an Aussie, right? The land of Down
Hmm.
Under, the home of the underdogs, and so I figured, well, an underdog Pokemon would be kind of ideal for me because I am very
Okay.
like, I
Perfect.
guess, like pro little person. Um, and so I'm like, what's a Pokemon that I enjoy, at least aesthetically? I know that it's not good in terms of combat, but it at least looks good. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
Ladian, that's probably my spirit animal, my spirit
it's
Pokemon.
so good.
I love
You know,
that. That's so
like
cool.
it's the kind of Pokemon that's like it could potentially win a battle. So there's a good chance that you
It can
might
do
put a
damage, so you can theoretically win the battle. You can win.
well, yes,
Yeah,
but it's
no, yeah.
like it's like someone might put a bet on it, right? And
Hmm.
so therefore, it
Yeah.
is the underdog. It's not like a
Yeah,
complete wash,
yeah.
you know.
I get what
Yeah.
you're saying,
Yeah.
100%.
And so it's really the underdog, and it's also like I guess I like the pun of like ladies and ladians, like
Yeah,
uh, and I guess the ladies man is like a man of the Ladian, right? And it's
there
also
you
a
go.
pun on the
Hmm.
ladies man,
Yep, it
So
works in so
Yep.
many ways. It works in so many
I
ways.
love it.
yeah, I mean, it only works if you say it like Ladian. If you say it like Ledian, it doesn't.
It just
It
can't.
doesn't do anything.
Right, right, right.
Oh,
That's
I love
awesome.
that so much. Kind of jumping into your content a little bit, I'm curious to kind of get to know a little bit more about, as we all mentioned, we're all big fans of D&D and TTRPGs and things like that. And so I found your Pokeroll stuff to be very interesting. And I was kind of
Hmm.
curious, how did you get into that game, and like what mechanics about it do you like that kind of brings you that Pokemon nostalgia, if that makes sense? And I mean, obviously, feel free to plug it and let everybody and tell everybody why they should try it.
Yeah. So a couple years ago, when I was like still experimenting with D&D, I'm like, there's got to be a Pokemon, version of this, right? So I
Uh-huh.
searched out like Pokemon D&D. I ended up finding a system called Pokemon Top United, which was in my
Hmm.
Mm.
video, and so I tried that for about a month just with my brother. So it's not the best kind of environment, a GM and like one player, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
So while it wasn't the best environment, I got a good enough feel of it. I'm like, this isn't really for me. And then a couple years later, I'm like, all right, surely there's another one. And so I searched around a bit, and I wanted to find something that could be easily done on like Roll20 or something, so I could do it
Yeah.
visually. And so I ended up finding Pokeroll, and that was supported by Roll20. I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty good. Makes it very easy to play online.
Plug in.
Yeah, and I guess like a lot of the systems were pretty simplified compared to Top United, so it wasn't as complex, and it's like easy to get people into it. All the information's in like one spot, so you don't need to go through different documents. Um, and if I'm ever like forgetting a rule, it's like easy for me to reference, kind of thing. So a lot of
Yeah.
those I guess quality of life simplicity like streamlined into it really made it interesting for me. There are definitely parts of it that I don't like, and I had to do homebrew, but I think one of the aspects of it I do like is that the more actions you do in a round, the more tired your Pokemon will be.
Hmm.
And so
Okay.
so like like if you use a bullet seed and attack 3 times, and then you try to like dodge, your dodge will be heavily impacted by
Buy that.
the previous actions. I mean, I think technically that is a homebrew rule, but
Yeah.
um, I think it's like the same kind of thing. It's just slightly different. Like
Yeah.
if
No, that's
Yeah.
cool.
if I focus on like dodging that first attack, my follow up attack will be less impactful. So it's like,
Yeah.
do I take the hit and so that my attack is you know more accurate, or do I dodge the attack and then my attack is less accurate?
Right,
So
right.
that's the kind of, I guess, draw of that system that I really like. The kind of risk reward with it.
No, that's cool, and it
That's
almost
awesome.
reminds me a lot of the anime,
Definitely.
like I just got a scenic, like when you were describing that, like of a, I don't know, Trico or something like that, doing the bullet scene, and like the scene, like it's just like it's
Yeah,
very cinematic, and I love that. That's amazing.
yeah. I remember like a meta type using detect, and it's like, well, obviously, why can't you use detect all the time? It's like, well, because it gets tired, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
That's
Um,
amazing. No,
cool.
I love that.
I'm just checking this
so
out. Yeah.
yeah, so that's why I love that system, and I'm making those videos so that other people can potentially get involved in it. Um, there are other systems in development, but that's obviously the one I've, been the most attached to.
Yeah, and you've
Absolutely.
kind of gotten able to build out the world that you want, and you said you've been playing that one for about 3 years, right?
Yeah, so the third year anniversary is like this December, I think.
That's awesome.
Um, so that's been pretty good. I've done like a homebrew region, homebrew evil team.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
I
fun.
really like kind of picked and choose my own kind of lore. It's like, um, something like Ninetales is a legendary in my game because I've got
Okay,
a because I've got like a custom version of Ninetales,
Right. That makes
that's
sense.
cool.
and it's
Oh
like the
man.
whole Ninetales curse from the mystery dungeon is like that's integrated, It's like
Yeah,
Ooh, I
yeah.
love that. I love that.
yeah, and I got a dream realm. I got a dream realm. I got a void dragon. Like I got a lot of things.
That's so
Oh, that's
cool.
so
That's so
cool.
fun.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and like I can create custom mons for the players as well, so it's always pretty fun.
That's cool. I love the
Oh, that's
creativity
so
with
cool.
that. We could nerd out about that. We could probably do an episode completely about that and go on and on. But
On
that's
and
so
on
fun.
forever.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that. I honestly, believe it or not, hadn't heard of Pokemon Tabletop United. So if you're doing a video on that to like kind of like get it out there more and share with people, we'd love to see what you
Yeah,
kind of do with that. That'd be cool.
I'm also open to like hosting like a one shot sometime with people.
That'd
Yeah,
be awesome. I
that
was at
to kind of tease it to people and
that,
get them into it. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be super fun. Yeah. So yeah,
yeah,
we'll definitely talk to you about that.
yeah, I'm currently working with a member of the small PokeTuber club,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we're going to do like a little mystery dungeon one-off version of it.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh, that'd
That'd
be
be so
so
fun.
cool.
And we actually have a question for you about that here in a little bit. But before we hop
Hmm.
into the small PokeTuber club, I want to ask you. And you were kind of mentioning this earlier when you were talking about your Pokemon journey, how you feel about things right now. Um, tell us like what you are maybe looking forward to in future Pokemon releases, or if you aren't looking forward to anything, tell us what you would want to see. Like, are there any specific regions you'd want to visit? Do you want to see something completely fresh? Any new mechanics? Any old mechanics? Any new types, gimmicks? Like, tell us kind of what you are looking
Hmm.
forward to seeing, or what you hope they would do.
Okay, well, I think it's a bit surprising they haven't done an Australia region yet. um,
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You're
for
right.
real.
I'm surprised they
it's
haven't.
one of it's like one of the major continents of the world.
Right.
um, but like I guess like with me, Pokemon feels like it's not really living up to all the hype or the potential,
Right.
that's kind of given to it. And so it's like
Yeah.
something simple as like voice acting, that would go a long
Mm.
way. It doesn't need to
That'd be
be
so
like
good.
every line. It can be like the story elements, or it can be like Banjo Kazooie talk where they just meh, 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 meh,
Oh,
meh.
no, 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 no. Yeah,
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 like
yeah.
it could be something like that, but it just needs to be something other than just text,
Right.
Um,
Hmm.
and I guess I would like a little bit more focus on the story. I guess because a lot of I guess what I hate about I guess modern Pokemon is that it really wants you to like treat Pokemon as more as objects rather than as like friends.
Partners. Yeah.
Like
Mm.
you got Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee, and Legends Arceus, where it's all about catching as many Pokemon as possible, grinding up into candies or just having them there to fill out the Pokedex or whatever. And then it's like your reward for completing the Pokedex is a shiny charm, so you're expected to go out and hunt. Like that's not exactly
Yeah.
a
Right.
good word, right? but you're expected to just hunt for shinies, and it's like you're not really treating them as like friends. You're treating them more as like objects or check marks. If that
Right.
makes sense.
I know. I totally
Yeah,
I
no,
totally get what you're saying. Yeah, I think especially with the Legends games, it definitely is that vibe of just like catch anything and everything you see, and then yeah, with like the incentive with the shiny stuff is like yeah, just run into everything and anything, ignore everything except for the specific one that you want. I can see what
you're looking
the
for.
argument you're making for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So like, and yeah, like I did not like the story of Sword and Shield. It was like, oh, Leon, can you, can we do this Darkest Day thing now? It's like, no, Chairman, just give me like 2 days, like literally 2 days. He's like, no, I'm just gonna do it anyway, just for the sake of it. And it's like, really? Like, this is what we're doing,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. No, and I think it's a good point. Like, cause like the thing is like, cause I mean, you're a Gen 1 guy as well, and so like I mean, you think about back to that storyline where, I mean, and I don't know if Pokemon's ever really done like this perfectly, but they definitely
Hmm.
tried to at least slip it in at the beginning there, where they tried to show that Gary's mindset surrounding this type of
Yeah,
just using the Pokemon as battling was not the right way. Like, it didn't bring the strength of your Pokemon.
Yeah.
And so it's like, in a way, I'm almost like, they kind of want to make it. They tell you that this is about the relationship, the bond of trainer and Pokemon, but like I think about like a Tamagotchi almost. It's like but it's not like a Tamagotchi. Like you're not taking care of it like that. So it would be
yeah,
interesting if they did give some more heavy elements towards that, like at least in story or something like that. I totally agree with you there. I think that could be really interesting
yeah.
and a lot of fun.
I really enjoy Gen 5 because it's all about that kind of dilemma of like, maybe we should have the Pokemon be like liberated, from the
Yep.
trainers kind of thing.
Hmm.
And I guess it's also why I really enjoyed spin-off games because it's like, all right, here's the idea of Pokemon, but told from the Pokemon's perspective,
Mhm.
or from like in terms of Ranger, it's like more of a rental thing, to
Yep.
help out. It's not
Yeah.
like a really one-to-one capture owning kind of thing. It's more of like here are different takes of the Pokemon world of what it could be, and it's like I really enjoy that more than I like the narrative of just catching every single Pokemon until I find a shiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. That makes
No,
sense.
that's really, really
I
interesting.
mean, I think of like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, where to me that's probably up there for like the strongest story in any Pokemon game,
Mm,
Oh
especially
yeah.
the. I mean, even Explorers of Time, Explorers of Darkness is really strong too. But to this day, the original just Red and Blue Rescue Team, that original story has just
Yep.
like hit like a truck. Like even like to this day,
yeah,
is that's one of the best ones easily.
yeah, I agree.
So
I think I enjoyed Explorers of Time, Darkness and Sky like, a bit more than the first one, but
yeah,
they're both
that's yeah,
like
they're both
really,
great. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, they're both really good.
No, yeah, I
Um,
love them both.
I guess like another thing I would like them to, I guess, kind of focus on is a bit more of the difficulty, not like insane difficulty ROM hack kind of level, right? But
Yeah.
have cohesive teams that have like a bit more of a strategy behind it.
Yeah.
Have Pokemon with like, 4 moves instead of like 3 or 2 or whatever. You know, like there are so many like mechanical ways to get involved with Pokemon, right?
Yep.
But the
Hmm.
trainers
Yeah.
barely touch on that. Like, is there a baton pass team? Maybe not. It would be great if there
Heck
was.
yeah.
Is there someone that focuses on light screen or substitute? You know, like
No, I love that.
there's not many like synergistic teams. It's just kind of whatever,
I get what you're
really.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah. I also loved kind of in your I think it was the video on Pokemon Champions that you were talking about where
Yeah,
we noticed like so far we only know the two modes, which is going to be singles and doubles in there, and you mentioned like it'd be cool if they brought back triple battles or the rotation battles,
yeah.
and it's like even if they just added in a different mode to play, because one of the things that I've always kind of found frustrating with the Pokemon company is that like the competitive way to play Pokemon like as a sport is doubles, which you very rarely get a chance to actually do in the mainline
Mm,
games, like And so it's like if you could even just turn on a switch that says I want to play this run of my Pokemon game as a single, I want to play this run as a double
Yeah.
battle, I want to play this one in a triple battle or rotation battle, that would just change up the game in so many different ways and make it so replayable, because there's different strategies with each of those formats of play. And so yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think where you're coming from is totally valid,
You know,
and
like
it's just like
if you think,
it makes a lot of sense.
you know, if you think about all the battle choices you have with like a rotation battle, you know, you can rotate at any given time. So it's like, what do I use here? You know, it's
Mhm.
got so much
Yeah.
potential, and it's just a shame that they kind of gotten rid of it because of like, I guess, hardware issues, right, with the performance.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
And it's like we
Yeah,
could
no,
probably do that now, especially with like a Switch 2.
Oh,
a hundred
absolutely,
percent,
absolutely.
100%.
And I guess like talking about with the Pokemon champions, I would just like love more detailed models or attack animations.
I agree with
We've
Yes.
that.
been seeing the like kind of same attack animations and models since like, you know, X and Y, and it's like please we just need something different.
Right.
100%.
I agree with
Well,
that.
and I know you have a big love for like the stadium games and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And it's like, and I'm the same way. I love the personality of each of of each of the Pokemon. Josh and I were chatting about this the other day. We both saw this guy. I think his name is Mr. Omnistone on YouTube.
Mm,
You might be interested to check him out too. Where he, I think he does one of the things that I've always thought would be interesting is that you know how each Pokemon has a different nature, right? There's sassy, you know, bold things like that.
yeah.
Where it would be even be cool if they just made like slight variances in the way that Pokemon express themselves due to their nature. And
That
it's like,
yeah. Well, I'm not gonna talk too much about it, but I was planning a playthrough where the natures actually
oh,
had an
okay.
impact.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be
There you
super
go.
cool. Yeah. That'd be
So
super cool.
That'd be amazing.
So,
next time I do a Pokemon Let's Play, I'll introduce like a nature thing that determines how the Pokemon has to be played.
That'd be
You know.
so cool. Yeah.
ooh, that's super cool.
I love that.
So anyway, things like that I think are totally great call outs, and I hopefully the Pokemon Company hears somehow they'll see this podcast and they'll make all the
Fingers
changes, right?
crossed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you never know. I guess.
um, I do want to ask you though. One of the things that I love about your initiative on your YouTube channel is that you made the small PokeTuber Discord channel, and you're
Hmm.
reaching out to folks who maybe not don't have the highlight that they should have, being meeting the small time impact, like you know, this more small time street
Yeah.
level, you know, type of content creators. But talk to us more about how you kind of got started with that, and what the, you know, the vision and goal is of that type of initiative, is to, you know, have a small poke club, and what that you're hoping to build that out into.
Yeah, sure. So I guess it was like, you know, I'm doing YouTube, and my first video did almost like 200 views
Mhm.
randomly. I went, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh
But then
boy.
like after that, I, you know, barely managed to get like 5 views for like a long time, and I'm like, um, are other people experiencing this as well? Like, and then you know, you do some Google searches. It's like, oh, I've been doing YouTube for like 3 years, and you know, barely get above 100 views or whatever. And it's like, well, let's try and find a way to maybe bypass that a bit, shall we? Like, if we all kind of unionize together, right? And we're all
Yeah.
just part of a community. We can effectively like trick YouTube and be like, "Hey, it's actually pretty popular," and then you
Yeah.
know pushing out to potentially get more growth. And so it's kind of like a way to get more of a chance for
Hmm.
us smaller channels. And yeah, and it's like, well, hang on, just trying to think. Yeah, so
You're good.
it's like, why not, you know, be together? Like, we're
Yeah.
all doing
Yeah.
the same kind of content. There's no real harm in like us being together, really. And so the idea with it is that we develop like a very diverse community, you know,
I love
because
that.
like part of it is you need to be at least 50% Pokemon related content. So you might do part Dragon Ball, or you could do Yu-Gi-Oh, or you could, you know, Minecraft or whatever. And just together we make a very diverse team.
Yep.
And I don't want it to be like a echo chamber where it's like just one opinion that's like, you know, echoes throughout the entire thing.
Mm.
I want it to be an ecosphere where we're all kind of putting in inputs, helping each other out, getting something out of it, changing ideas and perspectives, just a way for us to really grow together.
Yeah,
I love that.
I love that.
That's
Totally
amazing.
makes sense. Yeah, I think that's a great thing to kind of uplift each other, because yeah, like you said, at times the algorithm is very unknowable. Logan and I have had conversations where one video will do well and then the next one won't, and
Mm.
we don't know what it is, and not that we get
Yep.
like super upset about it. Where it's just more like genuine confusion where we're like, what's
Yeah.
going on here? So I think it's good to have that support, and like it's really easy to get fixated on people who like go viral or pop off really quickly,
Mm.
and to get kind of disillusioned. And I think we lose a lot of people like like us kind of like in this realm where we're really passionate about what we do and the content that we make, but it's easy to get discouraged, and then some people
Mhm.
just deactivate their account and we lose what they could potentially have brought to the community. So I think it's good to like support each other and realize like, hey, it's nothing wrong with being small. If someone pops off and gets big, then great. But if not, we have fun supporting each other and having a good time, and see what
Yeah.
happens.
So yeah, I guess also I want it so that you don't have to focus too much on like min maxing the algorithm to really like be successful. Like I personally don't like the whole like custom YouTube thumbnails and fancy editing, uploading at the correct time for your audience. Is like we don't
Yeah.
really need to do that. Let's just do it
Mm.
more organically.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
with our like small numbers of like maybe getting one view, right? It's like you're not going to be able to get enough feedback to know how to improve, you know, like
Mhm.
or like why you do successful. It's like if nobody comments, then you don't know if it's your thumbnail, if it's your topic, if it's your microphone settings. You don't know any of that,
Yeah.
and so I guess like with me, like I'm going to keep doing my content until I build up an audience that can then kind of tell me what I'm doing right and wrong.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep
Yeah.
changing on a daily basis, kind of thing.
Yep. I get what you're
Yeah.
saying. I
No,
love that.
that makes total sense.
I love that.
I
Well,
love that.
I guess with that, with your content, we want to ask you one more question before we kind of do our rapid fire round and some fun questions before we wrap up our chat here tonight.
Yeah, sure.
Or I guess today for you. Um, so one question is this, specifically we've kind of touched on this already, but you do this kind of recurring series of we need a new
Mhm.
X Pokemon game, right? You've talked about Stadium, you talked about the old TCG game, Pokemon
Yeah.
Ranger. Can you give us a teaser of any other games that you think we need more of, and why? Like anything that you're like, hey, whether you're planning a video for it or you're just like, hey, like we guys, I need to repeat, we need a new game of this one. I gotta say it again.
Fair enough. Yeah, so I kind of got like a little poll on my YouTube like
Oh yeah,
post
let's see.
about the next one, and so the next choices are a new Pokemon Conquest or a new Pokemon Rumble.
Ooh.
Oh, both great choices.
And
Ooh.
it's very close at the moment, but I think Pokemon Conquest is going to be like next week's video.
That's what I'd
Um,
probably vote for.
but I plan to try and cover, I guess, all the spin-offs. So eventually I will go for like we need a new Pokemon Dash, even though like it's someone's favorite, like I gotta
Oh
try.
yeah, right.
Um, a new Poke Park, a new Troze, why not? Like
Mhm.
Oh
why
yeah.
not have it?
Oh yeah.
I guess like the main motto with my channel and the Small PokeTuber Club and all that is from Goku. It's like if I don't, who will?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
that's kind of my entire motto with my channel. It's like if I don't do it, who will do it?
Right.
Mhm. That's great. No, I love that, and I think that's a great shout out. I think Pokemon Conquest is such an unexplored game. I saw
Mm,
recently there was somebody making a ROM hack, adding in like later generations and things like that. I think that was such an underdeveloped style of a way to experience Pokemon, and so I mean, I think that's a great shout out. I think other like I mean Pokemon Mystery Dungeon that's such a gold mine for Pokemon. They could keep going on that one for years. A Pokemon Coliseum or XD like one. Oh, this is where I could go down a rabbit hole of possibilities as well because I just think it's so interesting to see what because I think we mentioned before, in a way, sometimes like the mainline games can get lost in the gameplay of of the Pokemon world, whereas sometimes the side series, the spin-offs,
mm,
they can hit the heart of Pokemon in a way that sometimes the mainline games can't. And so that's
yeah.
why I think it's almost essential to have the both sides of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I really like the diversity that the spin-off games
Mhm.
give, and so I'm really like advocating for new ones of those because, well, I'm doing the ones I kind of have experience with first, and then I'll like branch out into ones I don't have much experience with. But I guess like kind of the inspiration with it was the new Pokemon Snap. It's like that was
Yeah.
just a random obscure game from the N64,
Yeah, yeah,
and they made a new version of it. So if that's possible, then you know anything really is possible.
I
Um,
love it.
and I'm not sure if I'll do a Mystery Dungeon one because like that's probably more likely, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah. It's more
Because it is
popular
like
for
a
sure.
pretty
Yeah,
especially with the remake. It's like if they're doing that, then they might do other remakes.
definitely,
Hopefully they
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
Hopefully they don't mess up the original game kind of too much. But hopefully it's good. But
definitely.
so Mystery Dungeon will be probably later. But a lot of the other Pokemon spin-off games that I've had experience with or have heard about, that's what I'm going to try and advocate for.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it. I love it. Well, we've had a blast talking about your content and kind of what you're doing, and we just want to, say to keep it up because you're doing an awesome job. I've loved seeing what you're putting out.
Thank you.
We're gonna move now into the rapid fire round of our conversation, and then the shower thought. So basically, this will be first just a couple quick questions for you, top of your head kind of thing, just fun thoughts and ideas like that, and then move
Mhm.
into our shower thoughts, which is kind of like that. What if this? You're walking down the street and you have a thought about the Pokemon world or things of that nature, like if it were real. And so we're gonna just kind of dive into that. So our first
Yeah, sounds good.
rapid fire round for you is, what is your favorite Pokemon game to replay?
That would definitely be Explorers the Sky. Like
There
top
you
10
go.
favorite games.
Ooh,
That
Um,
can't go
you know,
wrong.
go back to it every few years. That's definitely my favorite.
I love that. That's
I love
great.
it.
Can't go wrong with
I
that.
love it.
All right, next one. What to you? What is the flavor of a lava cookie or a rare candy?
Oh god. So I think a lava cookie is a really like choc chip kind of thing.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if it was more like an Anzac biscuit. Which
Ooh,
is
Ooh.
very like I guess kind of dry and crunchy,
uh
but
huh.
also kind of golden syrupy.
There you go.
It's hard
Mmm.
to describe, but it's a very rough biscuit. Like you can't just bite into it. You need to really take your time with it.
Can you
Definitely.
say that name one more time? Because I'm gonna look it up. I'm curious.
Anzac, so A
Anzac.
N Z
Anzac
A
biscuit.
C.
Okay, that's cool. Okay,
Ooh.
and then what is your favorite side or spin-off series game?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious. It's Explorers the Sky.
Explore the sky, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah. So
say
it's kind of good. Yep, we got it. We
makes
got
sense.
it.
Enough said.
It's just so good.
Yeah.
The story, gameplay,
Yeah.
just even just the music. You could listen to that for hours on end.
Hmm.
It's just so good.
I might be due for a replay on that one now that you bring it up again. You've inspired me. I have a
We're gonna need
copy.
to do that, huh?
Yeah, maybe we'll
Nice.
have to do something like that, Logan. So
That'd
sweet.
be fun. Explore those spin-off games again.
Oh
That'd be
yeah.
fun.
All right, so we have a couple fun shower thought questions for you as well before we wrap up here.
Mm.
First one is, which Pokemon that does not currently have an evolution would you give a pre-evolution or an evolution to, and then tell us more about what would the design themes be? So, what would
Okay,
that kind
so
of look like? How would they function? Typings, maybe an ability, whatever comes to mind.
okay, so you might think that I'll go for like a Ladian, but
Yeah.
I like the design of Ladian,
Yep.
and I kind of like the niche of it. I just wish that it had more, just I guess
Stats.
a buff of stats or something.
Yeah.
Better abilities. It doesn't really need an evolution, but I wouldn't really say no to it. Um,
Right.
I guess I would probably like try and go for some free evolutions of Pokemon. Something like
Okay.
a baby version of Tropius or
Ooh,
of Tauros and
Ooh.
that's a good one.
Miltank. Just something to kind of really flesh it out because it's just kind of weird that it's like little egg and then big, grass dinosaur. It's like what?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know, right? I remember seeing
Yeah.
that when I was a
So
That's a
kid, and
great
I was like, "Oh
setup.
wow, this big grass dinosaur. What does he evolve into? What evolves into it?" And then you find out that it
yeah,
doesn't evolve
It's
into
just
anything, or
there.
not. Yeah, it's just there. It's like, oh yeah, Tropius exists. It's a really cool design, but
and
yeah,
one rumor that I had like growing up was that if you could, that depending on the contest stats, you could potentially evolve Puzzle and Minun into like a purple. version.
Ooh.
So
that'd be
okay.
sweet.
you
That's
know
fun.
they need something because they're kind of they're kind of meh as well, you know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
I like that.
That's a
And
great shout out.
you know, so there's a lot of Pokemon, I guess, that do need something. I'm not going to go for something like insanely like popular. You know, like oh, we need another evolution of like Absol or something. It's like no, we can just let that chill. We need other Pokemon to focus
We
on.
can let that chill.
You know,
I love
like
that.
I'd like an evolution of Cricketune. That'd be great.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Ooh,
one too.
okay.
You know, imagine the sound it would
Like a
make.
full on Santa beard. It gets.
You know,
Oh, I love that.
but yeah, I guess I would try to focus more on the pre-evolutions of Pokemon. You know.
I
Yeah.
like the pre-evolution shout out from Miltank as well. I do think could be kind of interesting if there was one that's a branched evolution to either Tauros or Miltank. I think that could
Yeah,
be kind of cool.
same kind of thing with the other gendered Pokemon, like Volbeat and Illumise, you know? Like,
Oh yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
great.
Th-
that'd
that'd
be
be
great.
really cool too. Make them all kind of part of the same family. That's cool. I like that a lot.
And
Our
then,
set.
not
Oh, you
exactly
go.
like a gendered one, but like a baby version of Oranguru and Persimmon that allows you to
Ooh, that's
choose
another
into one
good
of
one.
those.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Oh man, I need to see that. Somebody who's really good at art, or maybe we'll just need to go chat GPT, Josh, and do a
Uh,
series on this one day. And we'll have to, well, because that'd be
that's
fun.
great.
That'd be fun to see what it can make. That'd be really really cool.
Absolutely.
Mm,
Um, our second shower thought for you today is going to be you get to attend. So let's pretend you're in the Pokemon universe, and you get to attend a TED talk from one of the Pokemon professors about their research. Which one would you choose? And I'll read them off so that you know what their which professors which with field of study.
yeah.
So we have Professor Oak, who is Pokemon and human relationships. We have Professor Elm, which is Pokemon breeding. We have Professor Birch, which is Pokemon habitats. Professor Rowan, which is Pokemon evolution and form changes. Professor Juniper, which is Pokemon origins.
Mm,
Sorry, excuse me. Sycamore is Mega Evolution. Kukui is Pokemon moves. Magnolia is the Dynamax phenomenon of Pokemon. And Sonya is the history of Galar. Sada is the paradox phenomenon of the ancient variety, and Turo is the paradox phenomenon of the future variety. Which one would you attend?
well, kind of for my own kind of deep dives into the Pokemon world and like the professors a bit, I think the only one that I would say that I would actually want to go visit is Professor Rowan with the evolutions.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
I
Kind of seeing
even
how they
I,
build
I
out.
even made a video trying to prove or debunk his theory about evolution as well.
I'll have to go back and watch that. I think I saw that one. I wasn't able to get to it yet
Yeah,
today,
it
but
was one of
I'll have to.
my earlier ones that didn't get much love, but basically Professor Rowan's like 90% of all Pokemon are tied to evolution in some way, and I'm like, all right, let's see if that was ever true across the entire timeline of Pokemon. Like including like forms that have been introduced later on in like modern day. It's like, was he ever correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
So I'd definitely love to go to a Professor Rowan lecture about evolution. That'd be
I
great.
love that. That's a great one.
Oh, that's a great shout out. Oh, that'd be so fun.
That's
Oh
great.
man, that's a great point. Well, we want to thank you again for joining us today. This has been an awesome chat. Like I said, we could go down some of these bunny holes for hours if we could, but
Yeah.
we want to make sure we get you back to your day. But we do want to to shout you out again. Make sure that we're grateful and that we're super excited to see what you're doing. And what you're going to continue to do. Before we sign off, we usually give our guests a moment to either plug or tease anything that they're working on. And then we'd love to hear any, words of wisdom that you have for our guests or for our viewers, whether that be, Pokemon related or just life related. We'd love to hear any insight that you have. And then we'll wrap up after that. So the floor is yours.
Yeah, so thank you for that. I guess the main kind of shout out I'd like to really try and do is the Small PokeTuber Club. It is really open to everyone, whether you're a creator or a viewer. If you want to find some variety in like the content, and you're maybe not a big fan of like the bigger YouTubers, like you want something more genuine or like down to earth, this is the place to be. If we get our numbers
Yeah.
up, we're trying to do some game nights or other events, and so that would be great. And so yeah, like you can just join as a viewer. Don't worry about it. And
Awesome.
I guess my kind of advice or whatever to whoever's watching is that if you're thinking of maybe doing, YouTube, probably go for it. And if you're doing Pokemon related stuff, I'll probably be seeing you sooner or later.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh, I love it.
So
I love
good.
it, love it, love it. We'll plug all that stuff down below.
Yes.
So we'll plug your YouTube channel. We'll also plug the Discord channel as well for the Small PokeTuber Club.
That'd be great.
I'm excited. We it's been a busy month, but I was looking in there a little bit more today, and when I first saw it, I thought it was great, and I'm excited to kind of get more involved there as well. I saw a bunch of folks in there that I think that they have a lot of fun content. So excited to take a look and get my horizons even broadened more with more fun people.
Yep.
But we wanted to thank you again for your time, Ledisman. We've loved having you on as a guest. For all of you out there, Josh and I will be continuing our Pokemon Elite Redux Soul Link. We're going to be, pumping out some more content soon here. We have a bunch of ideas right now that we're trying to get implemented. So keep your eye out for that. And until next time, this has been Logan, Josh, and Ledisman signing off. We'll see you guys.